generations the value of freedom at reatsacrossamerica.org.
Started out, you were sweet, sugared me like a peach, messed around, fell in deep. I said yes when you called.
It's Sunday, January 11th, and you tuned into the People's Patriot Project. We got your 6 at 6. Right now, you're listening to We Patriot Radio, proudly produced in partnership with Reach Across America Radio. Together, we share a mission to remember the fallen, honor those who have served, and teach future generations the value of freedom. A freedom secured by the brave men and women who have worn our communities and nation's uniform. Stay tuned for We Got Your 6 at 6. Currently playing on VP3 Radio, Kimberly Mayer, Out That Door.
One thing that you won't ignore anymore, boy, it's my ass out that door. You forgot it's my town.
Left, your left, hey. Left, right, your left. You got it.
Trucker.
Talkers, roll out.
You're watching or listening to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. We the people, the People's Patriot Project.
Your thoughts and ideas or want to help continue the mission, you have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we are the shocking hour when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always seen. We want you to be a part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. Here's the We P3 team bringing you today's best heroes hits in the boots on the ground organizations that are saving lives. And as always, Patriot Pride.
Left, your left, hey. Left, right, your left. You got it.
Trucker.
Good evening. I am Andrea Eichmann here with you tonight on We Got Your 6 at 6, our weekly show put together by the People's Patriot Project. I'm joined here tonight with Mark and Frank, and we're going to bring some guests to you tonight. We've got William Person with us tonight. He's a former Olympic bobsledder who will be sharing some therapy that he has been using, and we will be talking about how it could be great for veterans and first responders. And then for our entertainment and stories, camaraderie, all that good stuff, we've got Mr. Sal Gonzalez coming in tonight. He's got some new music he wants to share, and we haven't talked to him in a while. We need to get caught up. So please stick around and listen in for what's happening in those worlds. First, we need to say a word for our sponsors. We have got Catch-22 with Derek Iozio. Catch-22 is peer support group. Derek is other godfather of the People's Patriot Project, and he is the peer support leader with Catch-22, as well as many other groups that he participates in. So get a hold of Derek at Catch-22, and he will be there for you. And then I want to throw a shout out to Operation Texas Strong. These are our friends down there in Texas, Peggy and Bobby Kretzinger. And I just saw today they are reaching out if you have or know somebody who has an RV that you're not really using and donating. It feels like the right thing to do. They have veterans waiting in line, homeless veterans that they would love to take off the streets and put into a home. They've got a campground. They've got the facilities. They got a little campground store, and they fill your RV up with all the things that you need to make it a home. With that, I would like to say thank you to all of our sponsors, our guests, and our listeners. And before we dive into this week's show, please just take a moment to join us for this amazing version of the Star Spangled Banner with Dave Bray, USA.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take the time to stand if you are capable of standing. Out of honor and respect, please remove your covers and prepare yourself how you need to show your greatest gratitude for the amazing freedoms and liberties we have achieved under one of the most powerful symbols in the world. Please cast your attention as we respect our old glory.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight Yes, we are the brave. We'll fight you in the name of the brave. We are the US of A. For those unaware, that flag is still there. It's our future to save. This land of the brave, the US of A. Oh, Satan's that star-spangled banner, yeah, wave for the land of the free, and the home of the
Patriot Pride.
It is time. It is January 11th, and we are here for We Got Your 6 at 6. And we have an amazing show for you tonight, folks.
Just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine.
That's a little bit aggressive, and that's the way we like it. We got to get her done. We got a little bit of work to do before we get going. And why are the guests on the bottom level? They never get to go on the bottom level, and Frank never gets to be up there. So we got to fix that. If you're on podcast world, you won't get to see what we're doing, and that's okay. It's for some of you, it's probably better that you don't see some of our panel, but we got a pretty sharp looking panel tonight. We are a working group. We are boots on the ground. We are getting stuff done. We want to make it work. We're here to take care of veterans and first responders and whatever their asks are. We have and do this show on Sunday nights to bring boots on the ground organizations, influencers, and knowledge, skill, and base set to help. And then we get to dance in the world of the music world with, and tonight we got Sal, which is not a wah-wah. That is, I get excited every time Sal comes on. But we've got William Pearson here, United States Bobsled team. And we will talk about that here in a second. But again, back to what I was saying, because I'm doing my little random thing all the time. We're here to work. And the first thing we need to do is all of our listeners need to take a moment. You need to pick up your device and you need to listen to what Bastian has to say. Bastian the Bison.
At the People's Patriot Project, our mission goes beyond words. It's a rallying cry for action. We all share the vital responsibility to check your six. Our journey begins with self-assessment. Take a moment, battle check yourself, and determine if you're truly mission ready. If the answer is no, don't hesitate to reach out. Use your skills, tap into your resources, and connect with your network. Whether it's a trusted friend, an organization, or simply calling 988, remember, you must be battle ready to support the mission. Once you feel prepared, it's time to extend that support. Reach out to 6 individuals in your circle, check in on them. No agenda, no judgment, just genuine connection. This is how we cultivate strength, shield one another, and continue serving our communities. Together, we can reaffirm our commitment. We got this. Patriot Pride.
So you got your device, you're going to put in just checking on you, you're going to send, copy, paste, put that into 6 conversations. The things that we hear in our network is, why didn't I reach out one more time? Why didn't I get a chance to say, I love you one more time? Why didn't they reach out? Here's your chance, brothers and sisters. Get her done. Check your 6. William Pearson, 9-year USA team. I'm going to be honest. Here's my deal. We're going to hear who you are, and we're going to hear what your mission is. But I have a visual in my head every time I think of a bobsled team. Sorry, it's not USA. It's the Jamaica bobsled team.
I think because that was our generation. That was our generation, and that came out, and it was the good fun, and I think that's what it is.
But there's a scene when the Jamaican bobsled team crashes where one of their members' head is pinned between the wall and the bobsled.
Yeah.
And goes forever. And I'm like, that guy ain't live. He ain't getting out of that thing. He's done. He's out. And they all made it. It was crazy. But that's my trauma. Is I was never going to be a bobsledder because of the Jamaica bobsled team. That's the whole thing. Tell us who you are, brother. Tell us your mission.
Actually, the funny part is the Jamaican guys. When I retired, I knew the first generation, they raced before my time, and the second generation, those guys were still around. So they were all around. And so when my mom passed in 2018, they were the first ones to call me and check on me. So I really love those guys. They were really good people. And matter of fact, when my driver from the Stephen Holcomb from Team USA, he's the only men bobsled athlete to win gold medals since 1946. When he passed, once again, they were the first ones to call me and check on me. So, I love the Jamaican guys, even though, from the time I started racing to the time I stopped, anytime I said I raced on the bobsled team, I can have American flags all over all my clothes, and everybody's going to ask me, "Oh, you were Jamaica?" Like, no, America, you know what I mean? So, no, but I do appreciate those guys. They're good people.
Tell us what your mission is, brother.
Well, my mission is, I'm really trying to spread the word. I did a disservice to the military company, and I'm really here to try to fix some of that. When I was racing, we used to do VIP rides. And so on these VIP rides, we can take, we take special people down the track. And one day we took fighter pilots. Fighter pilots are the only people on the planet who knows what the G-forces that we pull feel like. When they flying and they do those bank turns, that's the same thing that we do. And so it's reported that we pull 5 Gs maximum. And we thought the fighter pilots were pulling 16 to 20 Gs, but I guess I found out they only pull 6. And so on this one day, we took them down the track. I did 7 rides that day. They did 1 smooth ride, and they were shook, and it didn't make sense to me. And that sat with me for many years. And so once I got sick, my teammates got sick. An article came out last December, and you won't find it on the internet. I have to send it to you. It comes directly from the New York Times. An article came out, and it was talking about how fighter pilots have the exact same symptoms as what I took to the court system to. I was trying to show the courts the comparisons of what the fighter pilots G-forces are doing to them and what ours are doing to us. And so when I took that thing to court and started showing it to the judge and the lawyers, it was scrubbed from the internet. And so I felt like the people who need to see that article weren't going to be able to see them. And so that's why anyone military, I'm talking about it, I'm asking them to show the article so that you guys know exactly what's going on with your own brains. And I'm not sure who's scrubbing these things from the internet. But yeah, it's happening over and over. And so my goal really is to help a lot of these veterans. There are 6,400 veteran suicides reported each year, right? But what they don't tell us is there's an additional 5,000 who overdose. And even if they leave a suicide note, it doesn't count as a suicide. So that's really 11,000 people. And people with CTE don't really kill you until you get much older. It's the self-medicating that you do, whatever you do to try to fix those symptoms and calm them down. Like usually it's alcohol, and that's what's killing. And so I saw the comparison. I'm watching anybody with CTE and the patterns. And next thing I know, it took me from the fighter pilots who were struggling to our infantry, the people who are around shooting the guns, around the big artillery and the tanks. They're also suffering, and so it's reported that they come back and they have, their not CT, I'm sorry, PTSD, and so now that they're starting to check the brains of the military, they're finding CT. But I don't know if those stories are all getting out to everybody, and I'm really just here to help. I'm not a enemy. I'm just here to share the information, because when my symptoms kicked in, I saw that my teammates were sick. I saw they started to commit suicide. This is our U.S. Olympic team, and even though people asked me, was I depressed? And the truth was, I don't remember being depressed, but every night I was on the ground praying for death, like I was begging for God to come get me. Because I used to be a counselor, so I know the trauma that puts on your family. So I could never take my own life because I didn't want to do that to my family. But I was no stronger than my other teammates. I want to make sure that's clear. Like, I was praying for that death, but some of my teammates began to take their life. And the truth is, somebody showed up that the guy who saved my life is Joe Namath. He put out a series of videos, and he said that he reversed his CTE symptoms using hyperbaric oxygen. And so, nothing else worked. All the doctors told me different things to try. And none of that stuff worked. So I didn't believe this thing would work. And I was in that chamber for 1 little hour. And when I got out, my life changed. And so anybody who's, has the possibility of having CTE, and you've been in the military, you've been around those compression blasts, if you were a football player or a soccer player or a hockey player, or a housewife who's been battered, because that's the next big population that's growing. They're checking their brains upon death and found out these housewives now have CTE as well. And so I'm just here to spread the word. Guys, I don't sell these chambers. I don't get a kickback for doing this. It's nothing. Joe Namath saved my life, and I'm just here to pass it on. And so that's why I'm here.
Well, and it's such a big news article, as we're going to say, the last 10 years, that some of our greatest heroes, I mean, they've blamed Parkinson's, they blamed all these other mental, cognitive, degenerative disease. And then when you get in there and start breaking the brain down, they're finding out that it's, I want you to say the E word for
encephalopathy.
Say it again.
Encephalopathy.
Yeah, it's one of those words. It's there's too many. There's a C and a PH and a TH, and it throws me. I'm the school teacher here, and language arts, Miss Eichmann, you gotta use that word 3 times tonight in the show, just so you know, or you don't get paid.
You know what? To be honest, there's a lot of words I still can't say anymore. That was one of my first symptoms. That I started to lose words. Like, I can see them. It's like I can see them inside my forehead. They're on the inside of my head. I can see the words. But some words, some days I can't say them. And when I was cloudy, man, I couldn't read very well. I couldn't comprehend what I was reading. And I couldn't do basic math. Like, if I'm going to buy a sandwich and it's cost me $7.27 and I give them a $10 bill, I was literally at the cash register having meltdowns because I can't figure out how much change to get back. And I was an electrical
$3. You wanted $3.
I just wanted the amount that I'm owed. I couldn't figure it out. Like, it was, and I was an electrical engineering student in college, so math and science is my background. And yeah, man. And so once that brain starts to shut down on you, it makes life very difficult. And if you want, and I guarantee you, like, I'm looking at the numbers, I'm looking at the symptoms. All the symptoms of our veterans is the same things that the athletes are dealing with. And I found that by accident. I wasn't looking for this. I definitely wasn't looking for it. I didn't expect it.
We kind of had some pre-show conversation about this. And so when do you draw the line from I'm just getting old and my brain's going to this is, I mean, we talked. I played too many years of football, and then I jumped on a howitzer and thought that'd be a good place to, mix your brain around a little bit. But there are things. There's things that I'm like, I know this is my deficit, so I don't even challenge myself in that space.
When
I
that
probably
difference
drive
show up?
my team nuts because we have to have a script, and it's not typed out, but it's a flow. But I can't remember all the people that we have in the show and stuff like that.
Well, you know what? My question to you is, when did that start to happen to you? What happened?
I got old. I don't know.
How old were you when you noticed it? Like when you started to?
I think there was a time. I'm going to say that there was a time where I realized that's something you can't do. And
wait. Before you tell me, let's try this.
Sure.
When was your first? Do you ever get a concussion from football?
Remember, I mean, you probably don't realize this, but I was born in 1969, so concussions, even when I went through the college ranks, that wasn't really a thing there was no concussion protocol. We didn't even, do I know my bell was rung? Oh, yeah. There were times where there was a couple days that were missing after games and after practices. And when I played in Russia, there was a whole week that was missing, and it was should have been one of the greatest times of my life. So we didn't have those pieces. They weren't put into play yet.
Well, guess what? They still aren't into play. So the only way you're going to figure this out, it's up to you. Your doctor, no one's going to be able to tell you this. It's between you and your loved one. This is a loved one thing. Because what I've noticed, like even for myself, like my teammates were dying. Like I used to own a treatment facility. I used to run a bunch of them. So that's my thing. Mental health is my thing. And so one day, one of my teammates called me. His name is Bobsled. He wanted to be a writer. And so like my background is, if you go and watch the movie Jerry Maguire, most of the time that was me you see running up and down that field. I played 5 different football characters. And so when I left the sport, I went back to Hollywood. So my buddy Papa called me, right? He wanted to be a writer. So I'm helping him. He's giving me these crazy ideas for movies, and I'm showing him how to put it into a screenplay format, linear screenplay format. But these were ideas he gave me. These were things I've never seen on a big screen before. And I was like, this is brilliant, And the very last time he called me, he was speaking some weird gibberish. And he got so frustrated that because I couldn't understand him, that he hung up the phone. And I don't know how much time passed by, but every day I told myself I have to get this guy some help. And that's all I kept. It was on my heart every day. I said it every day. And I don't know how many days went by. It's a black hole here for me. Could have been a week. It could have been 2 weeks. It could have been 2 months. But all day long, that's all I was fixated on, was helping my buddy. And the truth was, I didn't do anything. And then eventually, I got the word that he went to his family's factory and he hung himself. And, the guilt for me just was overwhelming. I felt responsible because I didn't do anything to help this guy. And that's what started this whole thing right here, was just, that was about the time when everything for me, I was, like I said, I was so guilty and ashamed and embarrassed. And the truth was, I didn't forgive myself until I realized that, I was sick. I was living on the floor of my own place. Like I wasn't even living in my bedrooms anymore. I had snatched the mattress off of my bed and put it in the living room on the floor, because it put me right next to the kitchen, the restroom, and the front door. And that's where I lived at. And so here I am trying to save my buddy's life. But here I am living on the floor. I'm struggling myself, but I didn't know. I couldn't tell. I didn't know I was depressed. I'm praying for death every day, but I just didn't connect the dots, guys. I really couldn't. It took for me to get help before I realized it.
That's crazy. That's it's not crazy. And so I'm sorry for saying that, but
no. It's
the world. It's the world within, because we've got the ones that are so, I don't want to use the word broken, because I don't think any of us are broken. I think we just need to have some support and or a resource, and we haven't gotten to that pace or place or space, and we're getting there. But again, it's these conversations we get to have that says, aha, we're going to learn more about Mr. Pearson and the things he did, A, as a bobsledder, B, as this expert in CTE. But we got to get Sal in here. Sal, it's been long, apparently way too long, brother.
Absolutely.
How you doing?
Doing good. When's the last time I saw you? You were in Nashville.
I was at the Label 22 launch.
That's right. That's right.
And got the amazing chance to hang out with, I mean, it was military musician royalty down there, and Chris Turner, Stephen Cochran, the whole crew. I see in here in our little promo, Stephen is kind of getting in on your big night. I'm trying to find it where I put it. Oh, there it is. There's the promo, and right back there in the back corner there, Mr. Cochran is kind of poking his eyeballs.
Just right next to my.
That's Sal. You gotta let us know, brother. Tell me what was going on that night.
Oh, we were playing the Bluebird Cafe Bluebird Cafe. You see how much I love the Bluebird Cafe?
That's a little bit bigger, though.
The second time I played the stage of the Grand Ole Opry.
The Grand Ole Opry. Absolutely. Gosh. One of the exciting pieces is, and I can't say we're like super tight, but we've been able to watch you and your journey over the last 8 years and have absolutely adored and watched, and just the character of who Sal Gonzalez is, and the product you put out there and what you commit to it. It's been an awesome ride, brother, and thank you for letting us be part of it.
No, thanks. I appreciate you guys being a part of it. I always, as an artist, you can only put things out in the world and hope and pray that other people like it too, right? Because all I can do is release things that I enjoy and that I think are good. And I hold myself to a really high standard, and I hate myself, and I'm always looking to improve in some way, shape, or form. So when people say they love it, it makes me happy. It lets me know that my hard work and self-loathing is paying off.
Well, and just knowing you personally and having some of those personal stories, knowing the struggles that you had along the way, and just, nose to the grindstone, get it done. You worked on some health-related issues and just some mental-related issues, and you found the pieces that fit into your repertoire that helped you into your space. And there's a chunk. I mean, it's funny I said the word chunk. There's a time where you were a chunk, and you knew you had to fix that, and so you got on. We're going to play 4 songs for Sal Gonzalez, because there's one song I won't let him get away with not having during my time. And even when we were down there, it's been a minute. 2021, we had you with the WP3 Nashville Takeover, and you had a stage set. And I was running sound that night, and I was like, no way, we're not going to. Sal Gonzalez has to play Heroes. Has to play it. And I yelled it out in the crowd. You caught it. Boom, done. Got it. One of my favorite songs. Because I think it's because I know your story in regards to that. And I think that's why I'm my heart is overflowing when I hear that song because of your story. And so
and that's that's as a musician, that's kind of my whole thing, is like when I'm playing, I like to tell people the stories behind the songs, because for me that's the magic behind it. It's not just, is the music good? Yes, the music's good, whatever, but I worked at the Bluebird Cafe for like 7 years. I was a bouncer there, and I would watch these songwriters tell me the stories behind, like, The Gambler. With Don Schlitz wrote a song called The Gambler for Kenny Rogers, and it went super ginormous, and they spun off movies about it, and I got to hear why he wrote that song. I got to listen to all these other songwriters tell me the stories and the backstories behind these songs, and it made me fall in love with music and songwriting in an entirely different way. So when I hear people like you say that, not only do I like the song, but on top of that, the story behind the song is a big, important part of it for me too. It makes me giggle. It makes me happy on the inside.
Well, you have literally blessed my life with the things that you've done, brother. And so I that's important for me to get that message out. Share about who you are. share us about your mission.
Sure. So my name's Sal Gonzalez. I'm a singer, songwriter, artist, recording artist here in Nashville, Tennessee. I've been playing music since I was very, very little. Started playing guitar at 12 or 13, played in bands all through high school, and then 9/11 happened, and I decided I needed to go join the United States Marine Corps. And I went off and I became a machine gunner with 2nd Battalion, 5th Marines, an infantry guy, as William was so glowingly speaking of us. And I was in Iraq for a couple of months on top of a Humvee, trying to fight bad guys. And in those 2 months, I got blown up 7 times. 6 of those times they were doing good to scratch my paint or pump my tires. Last one, unfortunately, went through the armor and injured myself, my assistant gunner, Kenny, and unfortunately it killed our lieutenant. His name was Matt Lynch. He was from Long Island, New York. And when I retired, I just kind of went back to playing music. I moved to Nashville. I moved home for a little while, but home didn't feel the same after what I'd been through. I just didn't feel comfortable in my own skin. And when I came to Nashville to visit a friend, I just fell in love with the city. And I was like, oh, I can play music here. I can do this. I can pursue my dreams here. I'm going to do that. And I've been here since 2006. And I've loved every minute of it. I've struggled with everything that an artist can struggle with and has struggled with. I ballooned up to 300 pounds. I was depressed and sad, and I felt guilty for coming home when a lot of my friends had died. I felt guilty for pursuing my career and my dreams while a lot of my friends were still actively getting shot at. And that led to a lot of drinking and behavior that was really easy to justify because I'm a rock star, baby. That's what a rock star is known for, right? Like, come on. I'm the life of the party. I'm always happy. I'm always smiling. I'm always drinking. Nobody can tell anything's wrong. And that started to change when Wounded Warrior Project came in my life. And they took me on a thing called Soldier Ride. I realized on that Soldier Ride with like 40 other vets that I wasn't the special little snowflake I thought I was. I had a bunch of these people that were now my friends that had been through a lot of the same stuff, who were also exhibiting a lot of the same behaviors, but they weren't rock stars. They didn't have the great excuse that I had. And it's really hard to tell somebody to quit drinking when you're still drinking a 5th of Jim Beam a night, if you know what I mean. So through peer support at Wounded Warrior Project, a lot of other stuff, many, many programs, lots of my own going to a therapist and talking to him and talking to a psychiatrist and lots of work on me. It's been a hell of a ride. We're in 2026. I'm walking around at just under 200 pounds. I'm a father of 2 and a better human being than I've ever been. So I've been blessed. Although I do really want to hear about the hyperbaric chamber because I feel like that would benefit me a lot.
I'll tell you that chamber is it's a lifesaver. It's a lifesaver. Yeah. As a matter of fact, there's the soldiers. They interviewed me from Great Britain. This is how I know 100% that this thing is not just that it woke me up. And there's millions of, well, I won't say millions. There's many people around the country who's doing this. I'm not the first. I found it because of Joe Namath. Matter of fact, there's a government agency. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with them. It's treatnow.org. They reached out to me. It's for the veterans to get hyperbaric oxygen treatment immediately, and they shouldn't have to wait. So they're trying to get legislation changed here in California and asked me to help be one of the spokespeople for that. And so I'm doing whatever I can to throw it out there. I'm also opening up the first ever CTE. The name of the company is American Post-Concussion Wellness Center. It'll be the first CTE post-concussion center for free for our veterans, and it's really going to be open to the American public eventually. But we're starting with our veterans because there's so many of them out there that's struggling with this. And I'm glad. Where you at? Where you at, Mark? You're an athlete, right? How many times you pull a hamstring?
I'm going to be honest. A hammy, I never pulled. I never pulled a hammy.
You weren't running hard enough, man. Come on.
I got a groin here and there.
Come on.
Okay, you got a groin.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I had several knee surgeries, but I never had a hammy go down.
Okay, what happened when you had that groin injury? What'd they do for you?
They made me stand waist deep in a pool full of ice all the way up. Yes. And they would just put a jet on it, and that's how we treated it.
Yeah. So they do that for a reason. They try to remove, because when you get any soft tissue injury in your body, I don't care what it is, inflammation goes there. Everything goes there is to protect that area, right? So for the next 72 hours, you're going to ice that thing. You're going to compress it to push the swelling out. That's just what they do. I don't care what the soft tissue part is. You got to do it. And so after the 72 hours, they'll alternate heat, ice, ultrasound, electric stim, acupuncture. Now they do those suction cups, right? And when you get done with any of those injuries, you got a little bit of scar tissue left in the muscle, right? And so for us at the Olympic Training Center, you see that trainer coming out the room with the white rag, and we're like, oh God, here we go. That's so we can bite it, right? We're gonna bite this rag because they're about to take that elbow and they're gonna stick it on that right on the muscle and find a knot, and they're gonna just cross friction it and break it up. So you see these grown athletes, we jumping around on the table, we squirming like we're getting spanked like we're little kids or something. And so okay, now let's take that. So I know you've had a concussion before. How'd they treat that?
None,
right. Okay, now I was on the Team USA for 9 years. I raced for 9 years. My first concussion was at St. Moritz, Switzerland, World Cup, right about a month before the opening ceremonies for Salt Lake City Olympics. So we had a nasty crash. I'm gonna send you that video, nasty. The guy sitting behind me that day was knocked unconscious. I had vertigo. They sent us back to the hotel, and they told us, watch each other so we don't go to sleep. That's the treatment that most people get. That's the maximum that you will get here in most around the world, really, not just in America. And so there's no way to remove that inflammation from the brain. So you get a concussion, you got inflammation in there, right? How do you get it out? They don't get it out. It sits there and it festers. And eventually it's going to turn into something. What does it turn into? They keep telling us it takes repetitive head injuries to get CTE. I think they're wrong, because I met the housewife who fell down one time snowboarding with her child, and she got the same symptoms. And so it's going to be the same treatment. And so I think the medical community has it wrong, and we have to find a way to remove that inflammation from the brain. And the only way to do it is this machine right here. No, there's another way to do it. Let me regress on that one. I was interviewed by these people over the soldiers in the UK. They cannot deep sea dive too far in the UK. It's illegal. So they take their soldiers with PTSD. They take them to the Bahamas. There's a blue hole somewhere over there. They go down in the water, and this guy was telling me this story. He didn't know anything about hyperbarics or anything. And he said, this is how we remove that PTSD. We take them down as far as we can, and we stay down there for a long time. And then he had that funny accent, so he kept saying a long time. He was selling it. And I was getting goosebumps, because every time I get in this machine behind me, it's called a dive. I'm simulating going down in the ocean. That's what this thing is. And so what that thing does, it makes your blood think that you're 9 feet underwater. So your blood's like a gas. And now it can get through all the blockages. It's going to send blood everywhere it's supposed to go, and oxygen. It's going to oxygenate everything in the body. And so for me, I was cloudy for 10 years, guys. I can't make this up. My medical records, I'm happy to share them. And when I came out that machine, 1 hour, I promise you, 1 hour. I thought the salesman who let me use the machine was trying to rip me off, because I thought I was dying, guys. So I bought a house in the Midwest next to my family. And I went back there to die. I was going back there to die. And so when I got in this machine, this guy named Hans down in Orange County at Oxy Health Chambers, you guys can verify my story. I went down there. I'm in the chamber for an hour. I come out. I normally wear these glasses. They got a little bit of a tint to them because I'm sensitive to lights, like smells and sounds. I'm really sensitive to that. So I'm in the chamber for 1 hour. I get out. I grab these glasses, I'm putting them on, and I'm taking them off because I'm confused because like all the colors were so beautiful now. Like I guess I hadn't been seeing colors for a while. I don't really know, but everything was so extra pretty. And the salesman comes over. He's like, "Hey, what's wrong?" I said, "I don't know. I don't think I need my glasses right now." And he said the weirdest thing to me, and I thought he was a crook at first. He was like, "Oh, you're one of those." And I'm like, okay, he's finna try to sell me this $22,000 machine that I can't afford. I just bought a house. I can't afford this machine. But he was right. Some people get immediate relief, but some people need 30 days of treatment, 2 sessions a day to get that same relief. And like my life changed, guys. I got up off that floor. And then on this one, the medical community is probably gonna fight me on it. But like I said, I was a counselor for a long time. But I'm telling you, this is not a mental health problem. It's a physical injury that has not been addressed. So you address that physical injury, you undo that damage, which is the removal of inflammation that's been set up in my brain all these years. And now I'm just, as a matter of fact, you guys are adults. So I'm gonna give you the real stuff. Feel free to edit it out. Don't be mad at me. I'm gonna give you the real stuff. Okay, I get in this chamber, I come out. Colors are pretty. I go home. I'm feeling pretty good. Okay, one thing about CTE head stuff, you'll get migraines. We get a lot of vertigo, things like that. And I fall asleep on the couch about 9 o'clock. I wake up at midnight. I got a migraine. I'm thinking, oh my God, this chamber might have done damage. But the only reason I knew that wasn't true was because while I had that migraine, guys, I apologize, but I had an erection. I've never had an erection with a migraine. Those two things just don't go together. Like if you ask anybody with a migraine, nobody will say, "Let's go make love" while you got that migraine. You don't want anybody around you. You don't want any smells, colors, lights. You just want to be hiding in the corner. And so I climbed into bed. It was midnight. Went back to sleep. I woke up in the morning. I could still feel where that migraine was at. But I'll be damned if that erection wasn't still there. And over the next few hours, my cloudiness that I had for 10 years was gone. It was wiped off me. After 6 days, I could feel it start to kind of come back. They let me come back, get this machine. And now I'm clear for 9 days. So after that, I had to buy one. So that's what's behind me right now. This is my machine. And it's been a lifesaver. And and between that and now with the people who deep sea dive to do the same thing that this does, the same results, it lets me know that I know this is exactly what the answer is. Yeah.
Well,
that's awesome.
And you probably just sold a bunch of chambers now for other reasons. And so
okay. And before you buy that chamber, do not go buy a chamber. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Don't buy the chamber. Go, they're in your communities. That's the good thing. They're in the communities. Go to your Google search, type in hyperbaric oxygen near me or HBOT near me. You'll find them in your wellness centers, your chiropractic office. Don't go try to find the ones in the hospitals. Those are 3.0 atmospheres. They will not treat you. They will only treat you if you can, if your insurance will pay for it. Insurance won't pay for this. Insurance will pay for 14 different elements with the hyperbarics, but this one they won't. They said they don't have the studies yet. The studies are out there, and a ton of them are through from the military people. They're around the country doing it, and there's so many people getting treatment, but not everybody's able to get it. Not everybody knows about it, and that's why I'm here. I'm just like, you know what? All I can think about is 11,000 veterans per year dying. I'm thinking like, man, it made me sick to my stomach because I'm thinking all they need to do was get in my chamber behind me. That's all they needed. And I promise you, like, I hate to say all of them would have survived it, because you guys do things that we don't do over here. You guys see things we don't see over here. But if it's from the compression blast, and if it's just the same thing that I'm dealing with, CTE, they would still be here today. There's no, I have no doubts about it. Matter of fact, I acquired 2 buildings that we're opening. I'm official of 501c3, and when I open, we're going to flood the gates and offer this service, and it'll be 100% free, because it's $12,000 a month for that first month. Our vendors aren't going to be able to afford that. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mark. You had a question.
Where are you located, William?
I'm in Los Angeles right now, but I'm gonna have to open this one in St. Louis in the Midwest, because put it this way, from what I'm gonna pay for rent here, I can buy the building, own it, and put it into my foundation, and it'll be here to run forever. And well, I might as well throw it out here. I'm a whistleblower, guys. Like, whistleblowers in America don't live long. That's just the truth of it. And I've already been warned by some pretty big people that some other pretty big people don't want this information coming out. But it was more about the Olympic stuff. It wasn't about the military. And like, I just have to be very careful what I do, where I do it at, and where I'm at all times. If you saw the movie Concussion, I think you might understand. Yeah.
We just need to get you tucked in. Your knowledge and skill set is needed. We know that Colonel Michael Burrows, retired down in Texas with Victory for Veterans, is working in the space and area as well. We just need to connect all the dots and get it rolling and get things put together.
Absolutely.
That's what we need to do. Collab.
But those aren't the people I'm worried about, man. It's just
there ain't no one to worry about.
I'll tell you offline. There's some. If you watch the movie Concussion, I'm sure you'll understand. Like, it's not pretty. Yeah. Matter of fact, at the court case that I filed for my teammates, I never asked for anything for myself. I asked them to take care of my buddies and to warn the new generation before they ever get in the bobsled. And we're still in court right now, fighting over that, because my law team that I hired are now standing with the defense team. And the last 4 court hearings, it's them versus me, and I'm the one. My brain is compromised. I should not be the one fighting this case against these high-powered lawyers, but it's what happened. Yeah. Matter of fact, Robert Shapiro came aboard, O.J. Simpson's old lawyer. He said he did an investigation. We had a few phone calls, and I got receipts for everything I tell you guys. He sent me an email, said, "I fired your lead attorney. We kept the co-counsel, and we're gonna help you get the results you need." I was like, yes, finally. 24 hours later, sent me another email. Will, I quit. So somebody's getting to these guys the same way they scrubbed that article about the military pilots struggling. I can send that to you so you guys can have it and share it if you need to. Somebody's getting to these people and scrubbing it. They did an episode on us called on HBO Real Sports. It was the Winter Olympic CTE suicide episode. Now you can go back. That show's off the air now. It ended a couple of years ago. You can find every episode they ever did, except the one that they did on us. You see the time slot, and you can see the name on it, but you won't be able to play it and watch it. So I believe it's the insurance companies who've been doing this, because as soon as they showed up, that's when things got really, really weird. Everybody started even the lawyers turning their back on us. And so, like everything I told you guys, it sounds like conspiracy, but I challenge you to look it up and see if you can find it and prove me wrong. But it's happened. But I have paperwork. Everything I told you, I can share with you and show you. Yeah.
All right. Sal's got to get rolling here. So let's do you an intro on one of your songs. We'll have to have you come back, man. That's what we'll do. We'll have you come back.
Sal, how can I find your music?
We're going to get
you can find, just type in my name, Sal Gonzalez, and it'll come up.
And we'll put all the links up as well, because we got his Spotify, YouTube, all that. We got all that. We'll put it up. You can go to WeP3 Radio and listen to Sal Gonzalez, because we stream his stuff on our radio station. So that's another place. But you don't get that private concert. You get all of the 200 plus musicians we have, and we want you to hear Sal. So Sal, what song you want to roll with right now?
Why don't we play Thing I Love the Most?
Tell us about it.
So I wrote this one morning. I was headed to a producer's house. He's a pretty big hip hop producer. And when their sessions normally start at around 11 and go into the wee hours of the morning, 3, 4 in the morning. Well, everybody had been up really late the night before. I just happened to be an early riser because of my kids. So I got up really early and I was already in the studio writing before anybody was up. And on my way to the studio, my wife called me and said, "Hey, your daughter just took her first steps." And as a professional musician, as a songwriter, I travel a lot. As a spokesperson for Wounded Warrior Project, I travel a whole lot. And that had been like the 5th first that I'd missed from both of my kids. So I got fed up and I wrote a song about it because that's what songwriters do. We get sad and we write things. And not only did it kind of portray what I was trying to say, but it ended up being universally loved by people who have to be away from their families. And I feel like anybody that's ever done anything ambitious, whether that's be on an Olympic team, serve in the military, try and be a musician and try and be an artist, that these are all endeavors that take you away from your family, that take really hard dedication and real time in your life to accomplish. And anybody that's ever had to do anything like that, this song's for you, because I love what I do. I'm not complaining. There's just some things about it that suck.
This is Sal Gonzalez. Thing I Love.
I'm starting to hate the thing I love the most. This guitar cries, but I still bear the load. The nights can get so lonely, but I never thought they'd own me. So I'm starting to hate the thing I love the most. I feel guilty every time I hit the road, 'cause your love is stealing pieces of my soul. I dread coming home just to see how much you've grown. I feel guilty every time I hit the road. So be careful what you wish for, oh, 'cause nothing comes for free. And all the things you want from life might not be what you need. Feeling like a ghost staring at pictures on your phone makes you start to hate the thing you love the most. Jim Beam seems to help when I'm a wreck, 'cause I can't sleep without you on my breath. And I know he's a crutch that I lean on far too much. Lord, with Jim Beam seems to help when I'm a wreck. So be careful what you wish for, oh, 'cause nothing comes for free. And all the things you want from life might not be what you need. Feeling like a ghost staring at pictures on your phone makes you start to hate the thing you love the most. I'm learning to love the things I hate the most. It took so long for me to get the joke. I'm still starting to hate the thing I love the most.
That is Sal Gonzalez, the thing I love the most.
Thanks a lot, folks. I really appreciate you, Mark. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, everybody out there watching. I can't thank you guys enough. We've been friends for an awful long time, and I always just really appreciate you. So
you're a blessing,
thanks
brother.
to everybody out there. See y'all.
Patriot
Great
Pride.
music, man. Great music.
Thank you, Will. It's a pleasure to meet you. See you guys later.
There is such a gigantic posse of people down in the Tennessee area. Can we get you to move to Tennessee, William?
You know, I won't be too far from there. I go to Tennessee a lot with my dad. We go fishing. We go to Tennessee, then we go down to Mississippi. And so, I went to a college there right out of high school called Knoxville College. I didn't have a good time there. I left really quick, but I love Tennessee. I love Tennessee.
There is a gigantic the team that Label 22 and just the people that are in the network down in that space with Brian Roman, Stephen Cochran, just amazing people that are down there, and they get it done. And
is that your hyperbaric group that you were referring to?
Say it again.
Is that the group that you said that they're doing hyperbaric? Is that in Texas?
No, that's down in Texas.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So, no. So, and we'll listen to more of Sal's music tonight. We'll just throw one in for a time taker, and then we'll end with Heroes. He doesn't get to make a decision. In fact, maybe we'll just play Heroes next, because I need you to know where this guy has come from and where he's gotten, and it just the story. So he woke up in the hospital from when he was in his last explosion, and he was missing his leg. And the story I'm going to get into. We'll go. Frank, tell us the news, brother.
Man, I was waiting on him to tell me that story, and I was like, wait a minute, how'd you just jump over the part where you got blown up, but the leg was missing? I wanted to ask him that.
Yep.
Yeah. I was about to harass him on social media somewhere. I need that story, buddy. You can't just, you just glazed over that. Like, no,
Yeah.
what do you mean? Like, yeah. I was
Yeah,
waiting on a commercial break.
brother.
I have questions. I had questions.
All right. The stories we got today are all kind of around a theme, I think. So the first one, I apologize for my voice. I'm still getting over COVID.
You were just yelling and screaming because the Bears beat the Packers.
I didn't even know they won until I woke up this morning. I did not stay up to watch it. I promise.
Hey, before you tell me your story, after we get off the line, I challenge you to look for the one of the only treatments for long COVID. I'll give you a hint. It's that machine back there.
Well, I was already interested in the chamber by what you said earlier. So that's just another plus.
Yeah, look it up. And I can't make this stuff up, guys. It's but there was a coach, right? I'm sorry, I'm taking over your time, buddy. I apologize.
I have quite a few more books to be able to afford one of those.
Rent them. Save your money. Rent them. Don't wait. I paid $20,000 because you don't have to pay. They're cheaper now. You can find them a lot cheaper, and you want to make sure it's working for you. Some people might be claustrophobic. You get in and be like, hey, wait a minute. You don't want to have spent that money and then don't want to get in it. So find one, use it. Make sure, because the changes are quick. Like I was in an hour, it was over. Like I knew it, I already knew.
Oh,
you don't need 10 years of treatment to know it's going to work. So you can rent one, rent it, pay by the hour. You'll know. Then you buy one. Yeah.
Deal.
Thank you.
All right, so they had a meeting in Europe with Ukraine and a bunch of the supporters in Europe, and some interesting things came up. It looks like all of Europe, NATO, and most of the countries in the free world are willing to back Ukraine once a peace deal is reached. And by backing Ukraine, they are planning to provide refitment of the entire Ukrainian army. They're also willing to include training and air, land, and sea support to help deter any future attacks by Russia. So, one of the sticking points that they had earlier was saying that Russia did not want Ukraine to become a member of NATO. Well, they're not allegedly going to be a member of NATO, but it would appear they're being backed with security promises from all of NATO plus additional countries. So we'll have to keep an eye on this and see where this goes, because I'm sure the Putin guy is not going to be real happy with all this. The next one, we have Iran. And if you have not been watching what's going on in Iran right now, you really should take a look, because this reminds me so much of what happened in the late 70s in Iran, but it's almost going in the opposite direction now. In the late 70s, the students and all the young people protested, and they overthrew the Shah. And that's when the people in the embassy in Tehran were taken hostage for a year. This time, the people are protesting against the leader of the religious leader of Iran, and are wanting to go back to a free society and have democracy come out again in Iran as it was once, although there was a lot of corruption. But this is growing, and there's even cities in Iran that are now flying the flag of the deposed leaders from the 1970s. So that the flags are coming down for the current regime, and the flags are going up in support of the prior rulers or leaders. That's another one we'll watch. The next one we had a story on a week or two ago where we talked about California revoking commercial driver's license for 17,000 immigrants. And the reason was that their licenses would extend beyond the time that they were legally allowed into the country. So what happened, do you think? Yep. The immigrants put together a lawsuit and filed a lawsuit against California for being willing to take away their commercial driver's license. So California, of course, caved, and they've decided that they will not revoke or any driver's licenses until March, because they're getting pressure from the federal government and saying if they don't revoke them, they're going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars in federal support. So this one's another one that we'll keep an eye on down the road, and there probably won't be anything resolved until late February or early March. But this has gone back and forth a couple times, and it's a big story for those folks who live out in California and the rest of the country as well. And lastly, this is the I can't believe this really happened area. And this one is one of Mark's favorite things. the viral 6'7" saying has topped the 2025 list of overused words and phrases. So this might be good for teachers and folks that have to work with the young people, because they're saying that it's so overused that according to the younger generation, it's cooked and it's not going to last. It's on its way out. They said that this is among the top 10 words, and there's the other ones that were included into this are demure. I don't understand that. Incentivize. I don't really understand that one. Perfect. Yeah, we overuse perfect. Gift or gifted. My bad. Okay. And reach out. So all those words are on the list of words that are overused and should be going away. There are around 1,400 submissions, and they came from all 50 states and a number of countries outside of the U.S., including Uzbekistan, Brazil, and Japan. So I guess everybody's had it with this 6'7", dumber, whatever it is. And that's the news for today, brother.
I think Eichmann probably deals with that a lot more than I do.
Probably.
But which one?
How many times a day do you hear 6'7", Eichmann?
Yeah, it's fading a little bit, but I bet I have 5 different hours of kids. I bet I would hear it, I don't know, minimum of 20 times a day. And then heaven forbid, like, you need a date and you're going to have your quiz on the 6th or the 7th. And then they go, oh, you did it, Miss Eichmann. I'm like, yeah, I did. Very, very much. We'll have it on the 7th.
Yeah, well, heaven forbid was the 11th on the list.
You should just say something along the line. Well, so when they say 6'7" to me, I just say apples are red because it makes no sense. And I was just like, okay, good. Deal with that. And they're just
if I was a teacher, I'd say Dumb and Dumber.
One time I said 7, 8, 9 because then that's
nobody'd hire me as a teacher.
You there's probably a reason why you're not teaching, and that's
hey, I got this new hat.
You look like a reporter.
Well, I'm waiting for the press credentials to go on the front, but
yeah,
this is my new podcast tell the news story hat.
So real quick, and I got to make sure it's even in this studio here because it's such an endearing song, and we're totally blessed by Sal Gonzalez, and just because Mr. Pearson kind of wanted to know the story, and I don't feel like I do it any justice because I mean I wasn't there, but Sal shares that he's blown up. He doesn't know he's blown up. And they get him to Walter Reed. He doesn't wake up till he's at Walter Reed, and several days. So call it coma, call it whatever you want. He's not conscious, and so he remembers. And this is how I remember the story. So he remembers waking up and his father's there, and he's like, "I'm so glad you're here. You're a hero." And Sal has reflected in that conversation, and this is the song that came up.
They threw him a party day that he got home. Oh, and they called him a hero, but he felt all alone, surrounded by his family and all his friends but one. Oh, he lost him in that country to a buried roadside bomb. When his dad stood up and said,
our hero has returned. He looked down at his scars and his purple heart and said, Dad, you know that hurts. Cause that told me it's to not sound grateful. Cause the good Lord knows I am for sparing me my life on the day he took my friend. But I still wish that I had gone with him, or maybe even took his place. Oh, but destiny didn't lead me that way. So I'm not trying to say you're wrong, but heroes ain't the ones who make it home. He said Danny had a daughter he'll never get to see. And I know that he was proud, but he was only 23. They gave me this medal, pinned it on my uniform. But this piece of tin don't mean a thing, no, if it can't bring them home. So I told me to not sound grateful, cause the good Lord knows I am for sparing me my life on the day he took my friend. But I still wish that I had gone with him, maybe he even took his place. Oh, but destiny didn't lead me that way. I'm not trying to say you're wrong, but heroes ain't the ones who make it home. Don't need to not sound grateful, cause the good Lord knows I am for sparing me my life on the day he took my friends. But I still wish that I'd gone with them. Every day I'd take their place. Oh, my destiny didn't lead me that way. I'm not trying to say you're wrong. Yes, I am. Cause heroes ain't the ones who make it home. No, heroes ain't the ones who make it home.
That is Sal Gonzalez with Hero. Just a self-reflection. Hearing him play that song live is a whole nother level. You catch a piece of it in the video. It is an absolute emotionally draining. It's his truth. And it's just amazing. He was able to pen that to paper and then produce something like that. And we hold Sal Gonzalez close to our hearts. And he's been a blessing to us. And there's a lot of who's who in that video. Brian Roman of the Romans Heroes Foundation. There's Jason Johnson of K9 Heroes. And then there is Travis McVeigh of Heroes Vodka. And there's a little tribute to Heroes Vodka in there as well, with our brothers leaving booze on the headstone of their brothers. But all people, amazing people down in. Brian is also part of the upper echelon for Label 22, which is a veteran-owned recording label down in Nashville as well. And so just an amazing team of people. And that is just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, we got Chris Turner's part of that label, and I get again my brain. The subject matter of this episode doesn't connect all the pieces and remember all the things I wish it would remember. But you know what? I think another thing that holds us back, because we don't really exercise our brains the way we used to with the memorization, because we got Google, and not only do we have Google now, we have AI. So I can type stuff in and say, hey, who are our veterans in the Nashville area, and it will come up with a list of all the people, and I can tell you a story about the majority of them, and because we've been blessed. And so I do remember the things we've done together. So what is the next big step for William Pearson? What are you going to get done next, brother?
Well, my 501c3 is official. And so what I have been doing for the last year and a half, once I got stable, I have a TikTok channel. It's dedicated to showing people how I use hyperbarics. I was showing people the ups and the downs. Once I saw that it was working. So I was trying to show people, like, you know, you don't have to perish from this thing. There's the things you can do. It's not always pretty, but, you know, and once I got stable, I switched it over. It's now I teach. What I learned is, like I told you guys my story, I didn't connect the dots. I didn't understand that's what this was. No one does. Haven't met any athlete who's dealing with this, who knew this is what they were suffering from. And so my TikTok channel is really now focused on loved ones, because like you hear it on every time you see somebody commit suicide or commit a murder or whatever. They say the same thing. It's the same thing over and over. It's patterns, guys. We're ignoring the patterns. That pattern is, they always say they were such a sweet person until they weren't acting like themselves, or they're acting out of character. And that's the number one sign when you know that there's something going on. And the other thing is, if they go to the doctor and the doctor's checking them, the doctors are asking you, what are you dealing with right now? What they need to ask you is, where were you 5 to 10 years ago? Because I've been able to almost notch this thing down to a science. It's not quite a science. Everybody's a little different. But from my first concussion to where things got unbearable, like where I knew something was really wrong, it was 10 years. And then at that 10-year period, there was another 6 to 8 years where at that point it was undeniable. Something's wrong. I'm dying. I'm praying for death, you know. So there's a 10-year period. So in between that, you should see some red flags. I saw them, ignored them, I rationalized them. But it's that 10-year point, and then that 16 to 8, well, the extra 6 to 8 years, that's where it really gets you. And so I'm just trying to teach people the signs. And so what we were doing is I help people find, like we talked about today, finding H-bot in your community. Trying to, some places I have it where I can send you to some places for free. Some places we're still going to charge you. But now, once we open our own facility, our goal is to, now I don't have to outsource everybody. I'll have a facility where you can come to. I have a chamber right now they're looking at building for me, a 6-person chamber, which means that I'm open 8 hours a day. I can treat 48 people that day. That's what we're looking at doing. This chamber I have behind me is only designed for one person, maybe two if they really like each other, because you're going to be like, you know, well, so it's really designed for 2 people, but you know, but yeah, so that's what we're working on, raising money to get more equipment, and I'm going to open my doors. It's that simple. I have a lot of people who've been reaching out. They want to be investors, and but I can't charge the veterans. I'm not going to charge anybody. This is if you look at all the mass shootings in America, 31% is our veterans, you know, which is sad. And the other percentages are people who are struggling with head injuries. It's like, it's right here in our faces, and no one's talking about it, and no one's bringing it to the spot, put the spotlight on. And that's what I'm here to do. If you check the numbers, it's people like us who are compromised, and I'm in that group too. Like I'm compromised. It's us, and we've got to fix us. Otherwise, because you know you can't go to the kindergarten these days. You can't go to the movies. You can't go to a concert. There's always a threat of a mass shooting, you know, and it's just disturbing. And it doesn't make sense. We're one of the best countries in the world. You know, I've been around the world so many times, and so many people want to come here just for the peace and the opportunities. But meanwhile, we're here, and life in America is getting a little bit uglier every year. Yeah. Matter of fact, about did you hear about the guy who left the CTE suicide note for the NFL? He went there to do a mass shooting in New York. It was about 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago. Well, anyway, on that, I have a TikTok channel. You guys go back and fact check me, guys. Anything I tell you guys, please fact check me. I was wearing a Red Team USA shirt, and my social media was going crazy because this guy left. He's a high schooler. He only played football in high school. Said he had CTE, so he's going to kill these people at NFL office. He got off on the wrong floor and killed the people at Blackstone instead. So they killed him, and when he left that suicide note, right? And so when they checked his brain, he was right. He had it. He was a stage 2 of CTE. But on that day, my social media, my phone is ringing because somehow the internet makes me out to be the CTE guru. I'm not the guru, guys. To be honest, I'm a guy who figured it out because someone showed me. Joe Namath showed me. So anyway, on that day, I made a video. So when you look at it, don't laugh at me because I look disheveled. I'm just walking and talking, bad angles and everything. But yeah, I just tell people like these. I said, I know we're watching our veterans. we're watching our athletes do these things. I said, this is not the population I fear. I said, the population I fear is our veterans. And I said, guys, we got to get ahead of this before it's too late. And I said, we're going to have a wave. My words were, there's going to be a wave of mass shootings coming from our veterans. We just got to get ahead of it. So I posted that video. The next day I hit court. I shared that information with the judge. And on the courthouse steps, the same thing I just said here, I said on the courthouse steps. And the following week, guys, I can't make this up. The following week, there was a veteran. He went to a bar in Anaconda, Montana. He killed 4 people, and he was hiding in the woods like Rambo for a whole week. And when they caught him, there was another veteran who went onto one of the bases. You guys might know who he is. And he shot a lot of people on the base. He didn't kill them, but he shot quite a few people. And as that was in 2 weeks after that, we had another veteran go up to a Mormon church in Minnesota. He burned up one part of the church. He went to the other part and started shooting. So when they stopped him, there were people missing. And they were sure they probably perished in that fire. But this is something like, we can't get away from it. It's right here with us right now. And I promise you guys, this is not a mental health issue. It's just, it's a physical injury that hasn't been resolved. And it looks like that. And the problem with it, when I was struggling, my brain was telling me every day, you got to end this life. You got to end this. You got to stop this. Why are you still here? You don't have to be here for this. You don't have to live, you've lived a great life. You don't have to live another day like this. And so that's what this thing really is. It's unforgiving. Your brain is in a loop. Sometimes you can't tell what's real and what's not. When I left Team USA, I was 36 when I won my last national championship. I turned 37 that summer. So when I finished, I moved back to Los Angeles, and people asked me how old I was, and I automatically said 28. And I'd be walking away, and I'm doing the math like, wait a minute, I'm not 28. I probably look like a pervert to most of these young people who are asking me questions because here I am lying about my age, but I wasn't lying. I really thought I was 28 for some reason. So our brain gets stuck in that loop. Now, when it comes to the veterans, man, I know how dark it is. Some people have told me, like, I've met people, and I don't say names here, but like one person told me they have a hit list of people they want to murder. And they have a special therapist. It's a special therapist whose only job is to keep them from murdering the people on that hit list. That's what we're dealing with here. And so we just have to do a better job of helping everybody. That's really what my goal is. And I don't have any other motives than that, just helping. Yeah.
There's definitely a lot going on in the science of this. Not getting wrapped up in the stuff, but I mean, there's a way or a means for people to make a lot of money on this, and that's what our country's based on. And so that's a frustration when we should just be taking care of those that took care of us.
Yeah.
And so, gosh, again, a blessing. Well,
like I said, they are asking me. People are calling. They wanted. I could have been open 6 months ago if I wanted to, but I'm not taking private money. I won't take it. because I will not pass that bill to the veteran. It is not going to happen. I told them, I said, you know what I'm doing? You can do it over there. I said, my place when it opens is going to be for free. And that's what it's going to be. And so, so many people are trying to talk me out of it. It doesn't make sense to me, because I tell you what, when I woke up after 10 years of cloudiness, man, there is no price you can put on that. And if I didn't have the people around here helping me when I found this stuff, like, I wouldn't have got the help either. Like, my family saved me. You know, Joe Namath showed up and told me about it, and then my family wrapped their arms around me and helped me find what I needed. You know, but without them, I couldn't, because I was laying on the floor every day. I couldn't get up. All I could do was just lay there and just like I said, pray for death. That's all. That was my routine. You know, it's so crazy. Like, I lived in this little community in Los Angeles. And so some days I was so cloudy, I refused to drive a car. I decommissioned the motorcycle because I knew I shouldn't be riding. I shouldn't be driving. And so some days I had to still walk. I go walk and get a salad, just make myself get out of that house and walk. And so I lived in this little community, and my street is like, my apartment was here on this block, and all the stores were on this side. So all I did was walk 200 meters, make a left, another 100 meters, make a left. Stores are right here, right? So some days I ask myself, what if I go the other way? What's on the other side? I couldn't figure it out, guys, and I was having meltdowns over, it's the same thing, idiot. You just made 2 rights instead of 2 lefts, you know? But that's how unforgiving this thing is. And once you get there, if you don't have people around you, you're not coming out of it. That's just the simple of it. You're not going to make it. It's your loved ones. It's the loved ones who's going to save you. So if you look at the last 2 years of NFL suicides, all those gentlemen were now living separate from their wife, except for one. There was one who's still living with the family, but he lived in the back bedroom, and the family kind of circulated around him. And yeah, so it's a family thing. It's the loved ones. Kind of, is that what the 6x6 is? You checking on 6 people?
Check 6. You check, yeah. You reach out to 6 people in your network.
My God, that's brilliant. I started that with my teammates when I found out about all the suicide. I started that, but what I forgot to do was to put somebody in a place to check on me. So when I hit the lowest, I didn't have anybody to call, you know. And I was like, oh my God, like, you know, it's just, man, that is brilliant. I haven't heard anybody else doing that. I thought I created something new. Like, look at that. Well, get this one, man. Like, when I came out of dementia, I didn't know I was in dementia, but when I came out and I realized I was in it, I went to the people who sell these things and who manufacture them. I was like, hey guys, man, I don't know if y'all know this, but I was in dementia, and I came out of it. And the guy said, hold on one second. He went in his desk drawer, he pulled out this piece of paper and he popped it in front of me. I have it somewhere. And he gave it to me. There are studies out here for Alzheimer's and dementia. Like, these things are already out here. Just aren't talking about it. If you're not rich, they're not going to tell you about it. You know, and matter of fact, the University of Cougars strength coach, I was watching ESPN about 2 months ago. He was in stage 4 melanoma cancer. They gave him 4 to 6 weeks to live. He wasn't making it. Everything that doctors gave him to do, it wasn't working, the chemo. So they said he did alternative stuff. They showed him on TV climbing to this hyperbaric chamber. Now his numbers are normal. Those stories are out there. They're everywhere. If you have strokes, because your blood is like a gas, it gets through all the blockages. They're saying they reverse strokes. It's like, there's so many people, if you're diabetic and they're about to start amputating stuff, they'll put you in this thing and they will not be amputating anything. Like, and I thought these were all conspiracies. And when people were telling me these things as I'm learning about the chamber, I'm like, oh, that can't be real. I start meeting these people. This thing is real. And not only did it wake me up, but it's saving lives, you know, all around. It's been around since the 1800s. This is not new stuff. It's not new stuff. This is an insurance issue. Insurance don't want to pay for it. That's the problem. But get your own, and you'll be happy. Is what I can say. When you're ready to get your own, like, these things are going to be in everybody's house in the next 15 years.
Off the subject, on the subject, I've been watching a lot of videos there that are people with Parkinson's and have the shakes and are doing that. There. And then they're saying, oh, there's no cure for you. But they get into the weights and they get into the gym and they start lifting. And then they say, you know, there's a guy I'm following right now. He goes, I haven't had a quake for a year because now I've built my muscle tone. I've trained myself, all things. And he walks around like normal. And there's video of him with his tremors. And it's just like, yes.
Was he a military guy?
I don't think he is. Not in this particular situation.
3 of my team, we're Olympic athletes. We're a small group. It's probably, I think I represent 700 athletes in court right now. 3 of my teammates have Parkinson's. I think one of them took his life already. But Parkinson's also comes from the head trauma. Give me 1 second.
You're good, brother.
Absolutely.
Take your time, man.
Man, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Like I said, some of my teammates have Parkinson's. I got to the point. I had a couple of days where my hands started slowly shake. It wasn't bad. It was prior to me finding the chamber. And since I've been using the chamber, I haven't had that. So I don't know if that's where I was headed. I don't know. But 3 of my teammates do have it from bobsledding. And so it's not from head trauma will get it to you. I'm sure a lot of our veterans, matter of fact, our fighter pilots have it now. Fighter pilots coming down with Parkinson's, seizures, strokes, dementia. I'll share the articles with you. It's the fighter pilots. It's the gunners, the guys on those boats that skip across the waves. And the worst off are our aircraft the ones that land on aircraft carriers. It's those guys. And then the other masses of you guys from the military side are the ones who shoot the guns and been around the explosions. That's what this thing is. Yeah.
I think you're on to something, brother, and I think you have something that is beneficial for a gigantic portion of our veterans, our athletes, and again, like you said, it's fitting into all the pieces of our world. I'm super excited about what you're doing. Please let us know how we can be supporting and doing what we can to help you get to the next levels. We're going to start reaching out and having some conversations. Collaboration is going to get this done, brother.
Absolutely,
again,
absolutely.
Regardless of what knuckleheads are out there saying what they're saying, we got this. These are
the people I'm talking to. These are some really, the people that warned me were some really big Hollywood producers who, they make documentaries and they yeah, it is what it is. I'm not scared. I'm not, they messed up. When I first got the warning, I was praying for death anyway. And so I was like, you're going to do me a favor. But in the meanwhile, you know what? You're not going to stop me from talking. I'm going to save my teammates. And then that's when the help showed up. And once I got clear, I was like, you guys are in trouble now because I'm not going to stop talking, And so there's so many people out there suffering. Matter of fact, I got interviewed by HBO Real Sports. It's like 2020. And man, it was the first time I saw it on me in real time. They interviewed me. And I'm watching myself in the camera. And they asked me simple questions. I'm talking about bobsledding. And I saw my brain. I started talking about squirrels and rabbits. And I'm talking about things they're not even asking me about. And I was like, stop that. I couldn't stop it. And that was the first time I really had the chance to see it in real time. And I stopped that interview and I told him to call me back later and we finished it. But I said, you know what? I haven't interviewed in a long time. It's been a while since I've been on the set. I used to do a lot of modeling. I'm comfortable in front of the camera. It's not a big deal. And I said, I just haven't been doing it in a while. So every mirror I saw for the next 3 days, I'm in the mirror talking to myself and just practicing. I had an interview with NBC on that next Friday, coming up 3 days. And when I turned the cameras on, we started talking, and the same thing happened. I had no control over it. I was embarrassed. I hid from the media from that day forward. No interviews. But what it did, it allowed other people to get sick, allowed other people to die. because I was too afraid to let the world see me as I became. So, but now I was like, you know what? I don't care. I am what I am, and this is what it's going to be. And like a lot of times, you guys ask me questions. Like, if you ask me more than one question, I'm gonna give you half an answer for one question. I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna come back to, hey, wait a minute, give me that question again. It's one of my last glitches that I have, and I don't think I'm ever gonna kick that one because I did this thing for 9 years, and I know now from my sport. They said we're pulling 5Gs. This article came out from the New York Times that diagnosed me called Sledhead. If you look at that one, they tested the track in Canada. There were spikes of 84.5 G forces. And that's why all my teammates are sick. You know, that's why there's so many Winter Olympic athletes around the world killing themselves and sick and aneurysms and things like that. But it's right here in our faces, and it's just disgusting. I'm just not going. You know, they're not going to stop me from talking now. I'm trying to help as many as I can. I'm not here to be an enemy. I'm just here to save lives. That's it. That's my only agenda. And there's nothing they can do that's going to stop me from doing what I'm doing now. They're going to have to. You know, yeah.
You don't gotta carry the load by yourself, brother. There's people that'll join you. But
I was wondering because you didn't feel like I ain't felt that way. Hasn't felt that way. You know, like I said, I'm in court right now fighting these high power lawyers that I hired. You know, and because they teamed up with the other guys, like I'm alone, bro. I'm so far alone. But yeah, I'm really here building community, and you guys are really helping me. You guys are. You know, you're keeping me alive in the media, and so it's kind of like my story's out there now. And these threats that are out there, they're gonna have people to answer to if something happens to me at this point. That's just what it is. I don't really care. Like I said, I know what my mission is, and that's what I'm here to do, and that's all I'm gonna do. So, yeah. And we're gonna complete this thing. It's gonna be for free. I'm gonna donate the building myself. So. Like I said, the foundation's in place, and so when I do leave this place, this thing will be up and going. Because the one thing about these chambers, there's no maintenance. Like, you know what I mean? I don't have to put oil in it. I don't have to put no gas in it. I don't have to maintenance it up every 3 days no, it's nothing. I have to turn them on. It's so simple, and it's only oxygen. That's the crazy part. It's oxygen. Like I'm not on any more meds. I know so many people who started this thing, they're on like 13, 14 pills. These are veterans. And this thing it'll reduce that stuff for you if you stick with it. And make sure you do the health screening, because there's certain things you can't get in this machine with. Like there's certain type of chemos if you have in your system. You know, there's things in place that for safety wise that you have to follow. But it's very simple stuff. You know, it's very simple. Yeah.
Well, we've come to the time where we've got all the answers. I don't know if we have all the solutions, but we've laid it on the line. We want to give a big shout out to Sal Gonzalez and the great work he's doing down in Nashville. But it would have been nice to have Sal's perspective in some of these pieces in closing. And I think there is a connection that he wants to explore with you, Mr. Pearson. And Absolutely. So we're going to make sure we keep that relationship, or at least that conversation, rolling and going. But we're at the place and time where we come and bring our show to a close. And we do that through final thoughts. And Frank usually starts final thoughts, and we'll just go clockwise on our. So Frank, Andrea, William, and then myself. Frank, what do you got, brother?
Well, I didn't really have anything until I listened to Sal's first song. And it reminded me, and I wrote in private chat a note to Sal. And I remember a time when I was out deployed, like, you know, so many other people are. And it was the holidays. And my daughters were very young. My youngest daughter was probably only 5 years old, 4 years old at that time. And my oldest daughter was probably 7 at that time. And I found myself sitting on top of a building that had been shot up and burned. And I had 5 minutes on a satellite phone to contact my kids and wish them a Merry Christmas. And so I reached them, and of course, being my kids, they wanted to talk to me about a lot of things. And I had to tell them that I only had so many minutes to share with them. And I really couldn't go into the things that they wanted to talk about, telling me how their day was, how things were, you know, the kids that they were playing with, the things that they were doing. And it doesn't really surprise me that I lost my wife and my kids. And it wasn't just one occurrence. I mean, I was in the Army for 28 years on active duty, and all the things that I missed, all the things that I didn't have a chance to see or do. And, you know, at the time I thought, this is what I do. I'm a soldier. I'm a leader. I'm here because there's a reason. And it just makes me wonder sometimes what would have happened had I followed the path that most people did and got out earlier, or, you know, just decided to take care of my family and not pursue this specialty, this profession that I love so much. But that's one of the reasons why I write my books, and it's to let people know who haven't served the things that we go through when we're deployed, and to understand veterans and people in the military a little more, because there's such a small percentage of people who serve. And I just want them to understand who we are and what we are there for, even though sometimes it's hurtful and it's not family oriented. But that's all I got for today, brother. I appreciate the time.
Thanks for being here, Frank. Andrea.
Yeah, I thank you, Frank, for all of that. That was, of course, when Sal got on and we started talking, I started researching survivor's guilt and what can HBOT do for that, and trying to make those connections right away. And so, not that Sal is all about that, but clearly his song points at that piece as well. And sometimes when we look deep enough, they don't even realize that's what's troubling them. And so just the combination of having Sal on here and having William come to share is an amazing connection. And William, your passion just for what it's done for you and your desire to help others, and then focusing on that first responder sect of the world is just, I feel our hearts might be very similar, because I didn't serve. And that's why I'm here doing this, is because I just feel they give so much, and whatever we can give them back. And I was reading about some of their agencies that don't really buy into the HBOT therapy right now. And but then there is story after story after story after story about how it's working. And so we definitely want to help be a mouthpiece for promoting that, because honestly, why wouldn't you? And I've not gotten to experience when I just recently started the infrared therapy, just for health things, right? Just for, I don't have anything major going on, but I thought, oh, it feels good when I'm in there. So I just feel like, I don't know, I feel good. So I can only imagine it's 100,000 times better than that, even, because I think the strength and the power of it is more in depth. But so thank you for coming on to share your message. That is just, it's so personal, first of all, and it is so, there's so many facets. You have this story and that story, and you were there and you were here. And so I really think we can help get this message out there. It just, thank you for bringing it to us, and thank you for putting it out there in the front of things.
I appreciate it. You know, that, like I said, there's an agency for you guys, well, for the military, treatnow.org. They're out there, and they're pushing hard trying to do this. I was talking to them. I'm like, come on, guys, you guys move a little too slow. Let's just hop out here. I have I had another person call me. I got to have the politicians that they're trying to reach so we can kind of get this stuff out there. And man, this stuff is like, this thing is bigger than me now. Like, once I saw the real numbers, I couldn't ignore them. You know, I remember I lost sleep. I could not believe. I could just say, I know what they're going through. I know what those soldiers are going through. I know that pain. I know it. You know, I know what it feels like, and I know why they can't process it is because that inflammation is up there, and you can't think clearly until it's out of there. You got to remove it. And once it comes out, man, your world will open up. Like, yeah, they're suffering. They just have no idea why. They think it's all one thing. No, it is not that. It's just, we got to address the simple problem. Remove the inflammation like any other soft tissue injury in the world. Now, my other concern is, how do you get those scar tissue out of there? I have no idea on that one. Right. I know how to remove the inflammation. I don't know how to remove the scar tissue. So I think that's the next step. But I tell you what, it's giving me life back. I don't pray for death. I'm not trying to die. I'm not in any hurry to get out of here. And it just took 1 hour in this stupid chamber. And it's just that simple. That's what baffles me. 1 hour. Yeah, it's disturbing. Why?
Yeah.
Why? Yeah. Every veteran coming back from war needs to have to go through this section. Every football player needs to go through this thing. It's really that simple. Yeah. But I appreciate you guys. Like, I have a crowdfunding out there. I have a 501c3. Please share it. Help us buy equipment. This chamber behind me cost me $20,000. This is a home chamber. The ones I need is going to run $50,000 to $100,000. So equipment is expensive. I'm not worried about the real estate side of it. I'm just worried about the equipment, and we want to be able to fly the veterans in. I don't want them to miss a meal. I don't want them to not pay a bill back at home, because then they won't come. They won't come. Yeah, we have to make it accessible for everybody, and fix it. And I have another plan in place. After, like, like when I was 27, this is a crazy story. I opened the first ever independent living transitional housing program for youth in the state of Utah. It was such a new program, the things that we're doing for aftercare, that the state of Utah opened me as a pilot program. And I say that to say this. One of the providers saw what I was doing, and they saw the difference I was making, and the money we were making, it was bigger, and our progress was better. Our recidivism rate in Utah at that time was 97% for youth corrections. If you got in my program, made 30 days, recidivism rate was around 20%, 23%, something like that. It was a huge difference. And so people started cloning my program, and they were like, hey, you should sue them. I was like, no, I have a 9-bed inpatient facility. I can't help everybody. This program is important for everyone to have it. And I feel the same way with this. I know what's going to happen because it's already started. People are calling me. They're trying to get me to not open for free. They want me to take their money. And I tell them, you know what I'm doing? Do it over there. This one's going to be free. So it's just kind of like, we just got to keep moving forward. And that's what I'm going to do. And that's all I'm here for. That's all we're going to do, guys. And we're halfway there. Yeah.
I hope the wrong people aren't listening, but if you could set shop up like across the road from big VA centers that won't do it for them right now, man.
We're going to be everywhere. I have a system to cover those guys too. I don't want to say it here because it's not official yet, but they should be in every city if we do this thing right. And I have the plan, and I know what the infrastructure is for this. And I just can't say it here right now because I don't want anybody to try to stop it before it happens. This kind of thing, you have to do it and ask for forgiveness later, because Absolutely. They're going to try to stop you. Yeah. Especially the other people who there's a lot of people who make money with these machines. And they're not going to be happy with me doing this either. But I'm focusing on our veterans. I'm focused on our guys. Yeah.
Right. Whew. Big stuff.
Yeah.
Is that your final thoughts, Pearson?
Yeah. And also, if you find your loved ones, if they come from the area where they have been compromised, possibly compromised, and they're not acting like themselves, reach out. I'll help you maneuver through this, guys. Find me on TikTok, One Man with a Chamber. I don't charge anything. I'll help you find resources. I'll show you how to CTE proof your home and your resources. Let me tell you why. I bought 4 cars during COVID. Ask me why. I don't know, but I did it. I had to have these cars, but you can't think straight. Your mind is all over. You get fixated on things. That's why the military guys are having such a struggle, because when you get fixated on the killing, this is what you've been doing for so long. I'm sorry I keep saying that. You get stuck at doing what you were doing. That's where your mind's stuck. That's why when I woke up and I left the sport, I still thought I was 28. Nobody couldn't tell me I wasn't 28. It's a loop that we live in. And this loop is just deadly and it's dangerous because you get stuck in it and you can't get out that loop because your brain is compromised. It took for me to get that treatment, and then it freed it up. It was 1 hour, it was gone. It was like, what? I know it sounds insane, but it's so many of your veterans already doing it, guys. Look out for them. They're there. They're around. Like you mentioned, the guys in Texas. Find those guys. These stories are here. You guys will be safe. You have to find the help.
Yeah.
We're absolutely blessed one more time for an amazing evening. Thank you for the WP3 team that has helped us and allowed us to get the things done we get done. We've got a couple asks in the hopper that all seem to be focused down around Louisiana. We'll get on those and make sure that we're heading in the right direction on those. This week we do have the WP3 board meeting tomorrow night. If you're interested in being part of a organization that is and insists in being boots on the ground and giving all back to those that have served, come check us out. We're also here tomorrow at 4:30 for the WP3 Weekly Debrief, which shares all the information that the People's Patriot Project is working on. That's WP3 is short for that. I know it doesn't mathematically make sense, but we are called We the People, the People's Patriot Project. We the People, we P3. We'll get you through it. Makes sense to us. Again, thank you, William, for being on tonight. Thank you for the courageous journey and that you're here. You've been through some stuff and you took the right steps in the right direction, and ultimately we're taking care of others. And that's, I can't think of the right word. I wanted to say profound. It's not profound. It's what in today's world, place, and time, it's time to stop pointing fingers and realize tragedy does happen. It's not meant to happen, and no one wants it to happen. But at the end of the day, because of those two factors, we need to do a better job of taking care of each other. We are here to help and support those. We're not here to fix. We're not here to fix, and no one's broken. There just needs to be another path, a rethink. Again, thank you for everyone that's here. We don't currently at this moment have any guests for this next show. So we're a little bit behind right now. Usually we're about 3 months ahead of schedule. But with Reads Across America and that event that gobbled up our October, November, and December, we just have been busy. So we'll get on it. We'll have someone here Tuesday. And we just want to thank everyone for being part of our ride, part of our mission. And make sure you are checking your 6. You're part of that equation. If you're not good for yourself, you're not good for anybody. And again, we will walk that path with you as well. And make sure we're checking our brothers and sisters are out there. With that said, make sure, again, I just said, check your 6. And we'll see you when the smoke clears. Patriot Pride.